Today I'm going to make a braised pot roast, and we're going to get it started in a Dutch oven and then stick it in the oven for about 3.5 hours. This pot roast is a little bit different. It has some different ingredients. We have ginger beer, and the ginger beer that I used is this Bundaberg. It also has fresh ground ginger, or chopped ginger rather, and then it also has dark rum in it. So the actual name of this recipe is called Dark and Stormy Braised Pot Roast. So here we go. So the first thing I've done is I placed the rack in the oven in the middle position, and I'm preheating the oven to 350 degrees. I have a 4-pound boneless beef chuck roast here, and I'm going to go ahead and season it with salt and freshly ground pepper. As I've mentioned in my previous videos, if possible, try to freshly grind your pepper when you're going to use it, okay? Okay, so I'm just going to take about a couple tablespoons of salt. I'm going to liberally salt and pepper this. It's okay, don't worry about that, it'll all get spread out. Same thing here with the freshly ground pepper. You go ahead and spread it around. And then I get the sides. Anything that didn't take, I'll just go ahead and pick it off the mat and then do the other side. Okay, and you can liberally salt and pepper, just like that. Okay, pat it in, and then again clean everything up by doing the sides, by picking it off of the board. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and initially brown this chuck roast. And since it's a very long chuck roast, I've gone ahead and got out my oval Dutch oven so that it'll all fit in there. So I'm basically heating up 1/4 of a cup, about 4 tablespoons of, in this case, vegetable oil. And I'm just gonna take this and I'm gonna put it right on in there. Now we're gonna let that brown on all sides. So, you know, just a few minutes on each side until it's all brown, and then we're gonna transfer it over to a plate. Okay, so the first side is looking pretty good. We're gonna pick it up. The other side down, you can see it's just to brown it. And we'll let that go. Again, each side for about 2 minutes to get browned on all 4 sides. Okay, while that's browning, I'm going to show you the ingredients here, all pre-prepared. We have some flour, some freshly chopped garlic, freshly chopped ginger, some freshly squeezed lime juice, Worcestershire sauce. This is dark rum, and that's like a Jamaican dark rum. And this is that ginger beer that I was talking about, 2 cups of that, some low sodium beef broth, some finely chopped celery, onions, and carrots and potatoes that we'll put in toward the end. And then we also have some cilantro for garnish on the top. Now I've kind of got it set up here on the side, just to brown the sides. So the front and the back are done. Now we're doing all 4 sides. Just set it up on its edge. And move it around a little bit. There you go. And then this will be ready to take out and set aside on a plate. And then when I set it up on its side long end, I just hold it for just a minute or so. What you're doing is you're sealing in all the juices for when this thing cooks for 3 hours. Okay, I'm gonna take it off and put it on a large plate. Just let it rest for a few minutes. Okay, just turn down the heat a little bit, and we're gonna go ahead and add the onion, celery, carrots. You get those in there and get them stirred around and well coated with the oil. We're going to continue to let these soften for about, 10 to 13 minutes. And I'm getting all of the brown bits from the meat off the bottom. Put that into the vegetable medley here. Okay, about 13 minutes total for these to kind of brown. Okay, so after that flour has been fully mixed in, I'm going to go ahead and just gradually pour in this rum. Mix that up real good. You want to keep stirring this constantly to prevent any clumping, okay? You don't want any clumping there, it smells really good. And now we're going to go ahead and add the 2.5 cups of beef broth. We can go ahead and also add at this point, after it's real mixed in, you can add the ginger beer. We can also add the Worcestershire sauce. Again, stir it up real good. And finally, 3 tablespoons of freshly squeezed lime. And then also we're going to add, for a little bit of sweetness, 1 tablespoon of light brown sugar. Right in there. It'll break up. Get that stirred real good. Now I'm going to increase the heat. We're going to bring this to a boil. We're going to cook, stirring occasionally until the sauce is reduced by about 1/3. And that'll take about 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, so it's gone to a boil here. It smells amazing. And we're gonna let that boil now, stirring just occasionally. You don't have to constantly stir it. At this point, I have gotten every little bit of sticky brown fondant off the bottom. And we're gonna let this basically boil for about 15 to 20 minutes until it's reduced by about 1/3. And then what you'll know, because you can stick a spoon in there and it will coat the spoon kind of with the consistency of like a cream, like a heavy cream. And then once it's been reduced by 1/3, we will taste it, and then we'll add a little bit more salt and pepper to taste. Okay, so let's let that boil. Okay, so it's been about 20 minutes. You can see it's reduced significantly. It smells amazing. And so what I'll do real quick is I'll just check the back of the spoon, and you can see it is clinging to the back of that spoon. And so it's ready for the next step. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and remove that from the heat. I'll just turn it off. And then we're gonna place the roast from the plate and the collect juices right there in the center. Okay, I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna turn it over. Get that in that juice. I'm gonna turn it over, and we'll pour in all those juices that accumulated. And then we're gonna arrange the carrots on the ground, and the potatoes. And just go ahead and pour them around. Okay. So we are now going to cover the pot, and we're going to transfer it to the 350-degree oven on the middle rack. And we're going to cook that for about 3 to 3.5 hours. Okay, so into the oven with it. We'll set a timer for 3.5 hours, and we'll come back and check it. Okay, so it's been cooking for 3.5 hours. Let's take a look at it. It smells amazing. And those potatoes are nice and done. They'll just break very easily in the sauce there. And the question is, you take a look at, see that? You see how the meat just falls apart? You just turn it very gently and the meat just starts to fall apart. Beautiful, smells amazing. Carrots look good. All the potatoes are ready. So now what we want to do is we want to kind of take this meat, it's just completely falling apart. We're just going to turn it over. Okay, and then we're going to put it back in the oven, but this time we're going to put it back in there uncovered. And what we're trying to do is go ahead and allow this sauce to now thicken a little bit. And that could take another, I don't know, 30 minutes or so. So I'm just going to turn everything around. And now uncovered, put it back in the oven. And here is the final product. It has thickened up a little bit, and again, if you take this meat apart, it's absolutely tender. The potatoes are perfect, the carrots, and then you've got the juice down below. So what I'll do is I will strain all of this out, take the juice, and thicken it up a little bit more with a little bit of flour, and we'll let this rest overnight. I'll then put it back in the oven tomorrow at 350 for about 20 minutes, and then we'll have it for dinner. Anyway, that is the dark and stormy braised pot roast.